Hey everyone, before we start, I just want to talk about Yone's items and runes. And the first item we'll get is Solari Charge Blade. This has really good synergy with Yone, giving him critical strike, attack speed, ability haste, and a sunburst passive, which he could easily proc by using his own passive plus first skill, allowing him to deal more damage if he's able to land the crit. Second item that we get is Recurve Bow, and the reason why I don't complete an item with this is because I'm getting it just for the attack speed, decreasing the cooldown of his first skill, as well as wanting to complete his second crit item as soon as possible. Then the third item I would get is either Infinity Edge or Bloodthirster. I would go for the Infinity Edge if I would want to focus on damage and bursting down my opponents as soon as possible. But if I want to focus on poking and being more sustainable in fights, Bloodthirster is another option that you could go for, because if you go in with your third skill, you get poked down, you would be able to lifesteal faster and be able to poke the opponents again. Then the next item I would go for is either Blade of the Ruined King or Wit's End. You'd want to go for the Bork if they have a lot of high HP targets, or you'd want to deal more damage overall. If they have a lot of AP burst in their team, you could go for the Wit's End for the sustainability. Then the next item I would go for is the Steel Plated Stasis. You would go for the Plated Steel Caps if they have a lot of AD or assassins like Zed and Kha'Zix, but you could even go for the Mercury Threads if they have a lot of crowd control, so that you would be able to safely go back on your third skill. After this is a flex, you could either go for Bloodthirster if you have completed the Infinity Edge a while ago, or Guardian Angel if they have a lot of burst in their team, or you could even go for the Sunder so that you would have both sustainability and more durability. This is the safest item, so I would usually go for the Divine Sunder. Last item is a flex. You could either go for the Sterak's Gauge if your GA is on cooldown, or even Death's Dance, but usually you'd always want to go for the Guardian Angel because of the passive that this gives. Going to the runes, the first rune I would go for is Lethal Tempo. This rune has really good synergy with Yone's first skill, because if you're able to fully stack this, then his first skill will have a really low cooldown. Then the second rune I would go for is Hunter Vampirism. This is really important for Yone because not only does this give him AD, it also has lifesteal. So if you go in and poke with your third skill, even though if they're able to poke you back, you would have the sustain with this rune. Third rune that I would go for is Hunter Titan. Not only does this give him HP, it also has tenacity, allowing crowd controls to not last as long. An alternative rune that you could go for is Nullifying Orb. If they have no crowd control, then this is another perfect rune that you could get. Last rune I would go for is Pathfinder. This one increases mobility overall, as well as giving more regen when out of combat. An alternative rune that you could go for is Mastermind, but you'd only want to go for this if you know that you have a strong early game team. So that is it for Yone's items and runes, and I will see you guys in game. Going to the game, I'm going to be using this champion's latest skin, which is a Dawnbringer Yone, and show you how he is used in the jungle. In this matchup, we're currently up against Riven, and in a Yone versus Riven, this is advantageous for the Riven in the early game due to her strong ganks, but once we get to the later stages, this would favor the Yone because of our scaling potential. So what we want to do is try to play safe as much as possible and to be able to farm effectively. I place a control ward on the top so that I would know which scuttler the Riven would go for, and to protect my mid laner from ganks as well. The clear that I'm doing here is the red side clear, where I go for my Krugs, red, Raptors, and Flex depending what would happen around the map. The flex that I usually do is going for a full clear because Yone's ganks are not that strong, especially in the early game. Yone's clear is quite average as well. It's not super slow, but it's not really fast as well. So one of his weaknesses is that he can be easily invaded, and that is why my team places wards. I place my own ward in the top side as well, so that I would be able to protect my blue buff from invades. Yone's clear is quite basic as well. All you need to do is auto attack after every skill so that you would be able to clear effectively. There are two ways on what you want to do when playing Yone. One is to get 2 skills on your first so that you would be able to clear the jungle a bit faster, or you could go for the third skill if there's a lane that you could possibly gank. Majority of the time, I would get 2 points on my first skill in order to increase my overall clear. The only disadvantage of this is that I don't have my third skill, which makes my ganks a bit weaker, but overall, I'm more concerned on getting my level 5 as fast as possible. Riven goes for a gank top. Even though our Akali falls, she's able to go for a 1-for-1 trade, which is decent. And the reason why I go for the Scud, even though I lose the 1v1 fight, I know that my support is there and he would be able to zone off Riven, allowing me to get a freeze cut. And this is very crucial when playing jungle Yone because you would want to get level 5 as fast as possible, and if you go for a full clear without getting the scut, you would be stuck at level 4, which would be very, very awkward. With this scuttle secure, after clearing the blue and Gromp, I would guarantee my level 5, making my ganks a bit better because of the additional CC and damage that this gives. While clearing the Grom, I'm looking at places that I could gank. Top side is a possible avenue that I could go for. Going through the lane is always the strongest or the best way to gank because majority of the time it's not warded. Akali goes in for the Fiora, leaving her pretty low. Looking for a chance to burst her down with 1 HP, use my ultimate that I just got, and secure the kill with my teammate. So huge gank. Even though Akali died earlier, she was able to get the kill back. I shoved the wave before going back, get some gold, so that I would be able to complete my charge blade. Zoe goes in for a counter kill, but seeing her position, I'm able to safely go away, buy my items, and focus on clearing my own camps. With Yone's ult off cooldown, this is my primary ganking tool, and without it, I wouldn't be able to do much. So I just focus on clearing my camps, which is about to spawn. The only time I would go for a gank is if the opponents are really low, or if I'm going for a counter gank, which is what's happening right now. So I get 2 stacks on my first kill, so that my third Q would be a knock-up, secure the kill onto the Riven. Even though I get hooked, I poke them a bit, put them pretty low. Pyke is going in, quite greedy, going for the punish. Even though I missed my first, I still have my flash, chase Pyke down, get another kill, and clear my camps safely. Ezreal gets a snipe onto the Thresh. Zoe goes in for the contest, not sure why. She's pretty confident, but with my ulti just going up, we go in, poke the Zoe down, get another kill, and with full stacks on my lethal tempo, we force Ezreal to go back. If he stayed and tried to fight, I would be able to go for a knock-up and secure another kill. Really good counter gank overall. Even though we're quite weak, with the right timing, we're able to help our team and make it an even trade. Ezreal goes down, which is good because this makes my Lucian a bit stronger, and with the Solari Charge Blade completed, this would make my clear even faster. Looking at all the crits that I'm doing right now, if you compare it on my earlier clears, my earlier clears were super slow, but with the Charge Blade, this makes my clear quite high. With the objective spawning, I know that I have the item advantage. My team is quite strong as well. So instead of going for the Dragon, we go and contest the Rift Herald. Akali goes in for the all-in, takes down their Zoe, trades her own life for it. I think it's worth it. But with their jungler still up, we go in for the poke, try to put her a bit low. Miss might a bit, but in the end, we're still able to secure the Rift Herald. Fiora goes in for the ultimate. We try to kite the opponents, but as soon as Pyke's hook hits me, I have no choice but to fight. Even though I fall down, we're able to get a 1-for-1 trade, plus secure the objective, which is really good for us. With the overextension of my teammate, we get another 1-for-1 trade. Thresh is out of position, Lucian as well, and with the opponents having a number advantage, they're able to get some counter kills. But for me, it's okay, because what's most important is that I'm able to secure the Rift Herald, which would translate to tower plates, which translates to gold. And gold is very essential when playing late game champions like Yone. Usually when you want to play hyper-scaling champions, you'd always want to prioritize Rift Herald over the Dragon. I use the Rift Herald because this would give us pressure on contesting the Dragon. We burst the Zoe down, she's very squishy. Try to poke the Pyke a bit. Dodge driven with my third skill, and instead of going for the Dragon, I see that their mid tower is open. As I said a while ago, I'd always want to prioritize getting the tower over the Dragon. And looking at the positioning of my teammates, they're not yet ready to contest. What I'm doing is waiting for the Renekton to come, dodge Pyke's hook, We have my ulti up. Even though we miss, we just use it for the gap closing, and we secure the kill onto the Riven. That way, not only are we able to get plates onto the tower, we're also able to secure the dragon. Fiora is free farm at the top, but it's okay because we're able to take the objective, and seeing that the Ezreal played a bit greedy, he thought he would be able to take me down, but in the end, he got punished. We get a double kill, getting their Zoe as well. Really good start, 6-1 and 4, and if you see on the left side of the screen, my Infinity Edge is already ready. So there are two things I could go for, is either Bloodthirster or Infinity Edge. But looking at my kills, I would most probably decide to go for the IE so that my damage would be even higher. But usually I would go for a Bloodthirster, especially if I am behind in the game. But when ahead, you'd always want to go for the damage component so that you would be able to burst the opponents even faster. I check to see if I go for the Merc Threads or the Armor Boots. In the end, decide for the Armor Boots because they have a lot of AD in their team, and I would want to focus more on my survivability. What happens here is I get 2 stacks on my first kill, go in third first, knock up the Zoe, and with the Infinity Edge, look how fast I burst down the Zoe. And this is when Yone gets really fun. When you're able to complete 100% crit, this is when your burst becomes really scary, as well as your clears becoming really fast. So we go around, look for any enemy camps that we could get. We don't spot anyone, so I just go on my own blue buff and go for another clear. Even though I have my Infinity Edge, of course, the next thing is if I should get a Wit's End or Blade of the Ruined King. And with the objective spawning, no one's defending the top side. I go there myself, look to contest the Fiora, but with her having Hull Breaker, I have to play a bit safe. But as soon as my teammates come, I play a lot more greedy, and we're able to get a 4-man gank onto the Fiora. Riven goes in for the contest, Pyke is there as well, but with the numbers advantage on our side, we know that we would be able to safely get the Rift Herald. Their junglers on the top side, and we're 5-man strong into the Rift Herald. They wouldn't be able to contest. Even though they tried to contest, Thresh is there to deny them, and we could possibly go for a turn. With Herald up, I look to see if anyone's hiding in the bush. Summon the objective, look for another fight, knock up 2 players on their team, take down the Riven and Pyke, get Ezreal pretty low, and with our third skill up, we have a lot of chasing potential. Kite the Fiora and Zoe a bit. My HP is really low. I look for a smite, but I tried to smite the Krugs, but in the end, it went to the Fiora, which is very unfortunate. I think if I'm able to smite the Krugs there, I would have lived, but it's okay because looking at what's happening, it's a 2 for 5 exchange. Plus, we get 2 additional towers on the top, which is well worth it for our team. We finish the stasis. That way, we would be able to avoid getting bursted down and possibly outplay our opponent. While respawning, we look to see where we could possibly go for next. What I decide here is I go for a topside clear into a full clear bot side. That way, it would be perfect timing for the objective to spawn. The opponents are trying to push mid. We go for a clear. And whenever Zoe's bubble hits, I just go back, and that would give me the safety that I need. Clear our bot side, clear the red, and positioning myself for objective is the next thing I'm thinking about. Unless there's a fight mid, I'm pretty strong, that's why I'm kinda looking for a fight. I have my ultimate, but with 3 members there, I don't want to risk it. Someone goes in for the flash, I think that was Thresh, but with my teammates quite strong, they're able to hold out. I use my ultimate even though I don't hit the Fiora. I still have a lot of damage on my kit. Third skill to go, in case Riven wants to go for a burst, but in the end, we're able to take her down. Pyke is pretty low as well. I still have a lot of damage, and we take the Pyke as well. 4-4 non-exchange, actually 4-4-1 exchange, but it's well worth it because we're able to get a lot of kills. And with the dragon spawning, this would most likely be a free objective because 3 of their members are still down for the count. Looking at the gold, I'm currently at 14k gold at 12 minutes, which is huge and well beyond our normal farm rate. And this goes to show how Yone or how strong Yone could be when you're able to get an early lead. This is my power spike, and looking how much damage I deal, it's very scary if I'm left to go for a free hit. Riven shows herself, going for the ulti. Zoe dodges it with her own ulti, which is very unfortunate, but it's okay. Since we're quite strong, we get 2 kills. Look for another catch. Zoe goes in. Thresh does a great hook, so we go in third skill, but that was a bit limit testing. And this is one of the weaknesses when playing Yone. Even though your damage or DPS is off the charts, your survivability or tankiness rather is quite low, and you could get easily bursted down when placed in a bad position. That's why when you play Yone, you would always want to prioritize your safety over dealing damage, because even though if you're able to deal damage, if you're placed in a bad position, then you would be bursted down and you can't deal damage when you're dead. Fiora actually gets a good push, punishes our bot lane dive. Our top lane inhibitor is down, and the reason why I went for Bloodthirster here rather than the Divine Sunder is for the sustain. Bloodthirster also gives me a bit of a shield. More sustainability is important so that I would be able to poke the opponents always. Another fight happens, get a 2-man knockup, get the Pike really low. He's able to escape with the third skill, but we're able to secure a kill into the Riven. Accidentally, blast cone the Yone away. We're still strong, trying to fight. What I'm doing here is buying time for the Lucian to come, and as soon as Renekton goes in for the engage, I go in myself. So with a frontliner, I know that I would be able to freely hit the opponents and get another kill. With 3 of their members down, Baron's up for the taking, and another thing about Yone is that he takes the Baron really fast, especially when I already completed my Bleed of the Ruined King. Look how fast I shred the Baron. We're able to take it in less than 10 seconds. Get ahead in the game. Third skill to poke the Ez a bit. Ultimate, damage check. Burst the Ez. That was just 3 hits. That auto, first auto. And going back, our third skill deals damage as well. So we secure the kill. Getting the Baron buff. Fiora is quite strong, so in a 1v1 setting, it would be quite hard. But with our damage and how ahead we are, we easily win the duel. And I play it a bit safe because my teammates are not there yet, and I wouldn't want to throw my lead. I could have went all in against the Fiora if I wanted to. Take the second tower. Only the last tower is left. Fiora is a bit overextended topside. Try to poke her a bit with the second skill plus first skill. As soon as she flashes, I still have my knockup. Go back. I thought I would be able to get her, but she is able to escape with 1 HP. It's okay because we have the Baron buff, and we're gonna force it and try to get their inhibitors down. A fight happens mid, Lucian gets hooked, but with Riven getting caught, we easily burst her down. Pike tries to catch me, going back on my third skill, but he's not able to do much. Take down an inhibitor tower. Look on where we should go next. Bot lane is still up. We could possibly go there. But there's no creeps. Zoe gets a sleep onto me. Really good combo by the opponents. I had to use my Zonya, and with the third skill putting me out of position, I get punished for it. Played a bit greedy there, and as soon as I got slept, we get punished. Not only do I go down, my Thresh goes down as well. Renekton does a push topside, tries to put some pressure. In the end, we're not able to use our Baron buff fully. At least we're able to get their mid inhibitor. At this time, 18k gold, I'm already item locked. I buy my Guardian Angel. Just in case it happens again, I still have a second life. With the objective spawning in 20 seconds, I look to see if I would be able to go there on time. And looking at their positioning, this would be a yes. And getting the third dragon would be huge, giving our whole team a power spike and increasing the odds of us being able to close out the game. Lucian plays bait, goes in for 3 of them. Even though our Lucian goes down, This opens up Dragon for us to take, and I think it's worth it if we trade one of our teammates for the third Dragon. Because in Wildrift, third Dragon is very strong and would always guarantee a win unless you're placed in a bad position. We go for another clear, recall to clear top, just in case. Because as soon as the inhibitor spawns, then our top lane would be able to push easily. Akali goes for a fight on the bot side, 2v1 outplay. With Riven coming, I try to help my teammate. Zoe is there as well. Even though our Akali falls down, look how fast I burst the Zoe with just 3 hits. We poke her, put her down, and getting Trash's Lantern. Look at the sustain that I'm doing with the Bloodthirster plus Bork plus Vampirism. I think I just gained my health after 3 hits. And this is the potential of getting a lot of lifesteal in your inventory. Ezreal goes in for a fight mid-side. Knows that she would not be able to live the Renekton Thresh. This gives us a free push onto the bot side. Riven can't deal with me 1v1 as well because of how fed we are. And with the open Nexus, this is where we could just end the game. Take down the Riven. Pyke is out of position as well. A bit of limit testing. And with that, we end the game. Really good Yone gameplay overall. Props to my teammates as well as to helping me scale properly. And with that, we're able to use Yone to his utmost potential. 94% get MVP. 15-5-15 with the most gold, 36k damage dealt. Quite a lot of damage taken as well. And hope you guys enjoyed our Yone tutorial. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Ciao, ciao.